Page number 29. The lesson is A Tiger in the Zoo. It's a poem, and this poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with the tiger in its natural habitat. The poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. Read the poem silently once and say which stanzas speak about the tiger in the zoo and which ones speak about the tiger in the jungle. Now the poem. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. The poet is Leslie Norris. Page number 30. Glossary. Snarls means makes an angry warning sound. Thinking about the poem. Number 1. Read the poem again and work in pairs or groups to do the following tasks. Number 1. Find the words that describe the movements and actions of the tiger in the cage and in the wild. Arrange them in 2 columns. Number 2. Find the words that describe the 2 places and arrange them in 2 columns. Now try to share ideas about how the poet uses words and images to contrast the 2 situations. Number 2. Notice the use of word repeated in lines such as these. Number 1. On pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. Number 2. And stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. What do you think is the effect of this repetition? Number 3. Read the following 2 poems, one about a tiger and the other about a panther. Then discuss. Are zoos necessary for the protection or conservation of some species of animals? Are they useful for educating the public? Are there alternatives to zoos? Now the 2 poems. The first poem is The Tiger. The tiger behind the bars of his cage growls. The tiger behind the bars of his cage snarls. The tiger behind the bars of his cage roars. Then he thinks, it would be nice not to be behind bars all the time, because they spoil my view. I wish I were wild, not on show. But if I were wild, hunters might shoot me. But if I were wild, food might poison me. But if I were wild, water might drown me. Then he stops thinking, and the tiger behind the bars of his cage growls. The tiger behind the bars of his cage snarls. The tiger behind the bars of his cage roars. The poet is Peter Niblett. Page number 31. The Panther. This is the second poem in succession. Now the poem. His vision from the constantly passing bars has grown so weary that it cannot hold anything else. It seems to him there are 1,000 bars, and behind the bars no world. As he paces in cramped circles over and over, the movement of his powerful soft strides is like a ritual dance around the center, in which a mighty will stands paralyzed. Only at times the curtain of the pupils lifts quietly. An image enters in, rushes down through the tensed, arrested muscles, plunges into the heart, and is gone. The poet is Rainer Maria Reich. Number 4. Take a point of view for or against zoos, or even consider both points of view and write a couple of paragraphs or speak about this topic for a couple of minutes in class. The greater cats with golden eyes stare out between the bars. Deserts are there and different skies, and night with different stars. It's a poem written by Victoria Sackville West.